All right. Welcome to Summit Center for Spiritual Living, where we share universal good through love. And Michael's going to light the candle and explain the significance of that.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. Yeah, so the candle, the only ritualistic thing we do, but I think it's very important. The wax itself represents that there's only one. There's only one. And that the first wick I light of this 2-wick candle, first wick represents the kingdom of God in you, that you are the light of the world. And as we gather in community, the second wick, again, we do shine a much greater light into the world. So thank you all for being here today. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. John's going to lead us into an opening song.
We are making a new start, willing to do our part, getting better day by day. Creative action is an art, a good start, from the heart for living in a better way. Working together with the skills of many hands, helping each other make the best life we can. We are making a new start, willing to do our part, getting better day by day. Creative action is an art, a good start, from the heart for living in a better way. Life becoming better as harm and suffering cease. With kindness for each other, we'll live and grow in peace. Making a new start, awareness growing here and there, as we care for one another, love flowers everywhere. We are making a new start, willing to do our part, getting better day by day. Creative action is an art, a good start, from the heart to living in a better way. For living in a better way. For living in a better way.
Well, thank you, John. We appreciate that. And today is we start this new series, and we're going to be doing the 5 steps of spiritual mind treatment. And Carol Ann's going to start us off with recognition. And so the first step, so that's what we're doing. And then next week it'll be Michael, he'll do unification. Tim will do realization. And the 4th week I will finish up with Thanksgiving and release combined. So, but that's what's coming up. All right. So with that, Michael, how about 365?
Well, hello everyone. Welcome to February 1st. How wonderful. And the month of love. And that's what the first page of the Science of Mind 365. It has quotes on love. And Ernest Holmes wrote that love is the self-givingness of the spirit through the desire of the heart, through the desire of life to express itself in terms of creation. And love is the central flame of the universe, nay, the very fire itself. So for today, our reading for February 1st is God's presence in me is love. God's presence in me is love. And from the book of Ecclesiastes, he hath made everything beautiful in his time. The divine presence within me is everlasting love. The action of love is expressed in my world. God's wisdom holds me steady, and the peace of God fills me. I am his creation, understood, wanted, and cared for. And from this infinite source, I give and receive love in my world. If petty emotions seem to trouble me, I immediately turn to the source within me of strength and peace. God in me does the loving, and I have no fear. Kindness and understanding are shown to me. I bless anyone who seems to disturb me, and I know how to love those who are dear to me and to love them more each day. And as our love grows, so we grow as individuals. God in me is never troubled. Nothing can take love from me or keep it out of my heart. Love enters in freely, and there is no restriction to it. I came into this world to love, and I am loving. I express my love for God, a boundless gratitude because I live. God rejoices for me because of and by means of me. Science Mind 365.
Thank you, Michael. All right. So John's going to lead us into meditation, and we'll go from there.
Loving is the way. Loving is the way. In what we think, do, or say. Loving is the way. Loving today. Being peace. Being kind. Being now. Loving mind. Kindness is the way in what we think, do, or say. Kindness is the way. Kindness today. Being peace. Being kind. Being now. Loving mind.
And as we take in a deep breath, as you release it, just relax. Allow any tension in your body out. And let's take in another deep breath. Again, finding any source of tension that is just being let go right here and right now. Let's take in one more big breath. And really let go. Knowing that and realizing that Spirit is all there is, that God is all there is. Whether you call it Creator, Mind, Spirits, God, does not matter what it's called, but it's the greater power that brings us all together. I recognize is love, peace, joy, beauty, power, light, life, wisdom, wholeness, completeness, perfection, abundance, prosperity. God is everywhere, present in us, through us, as us, and all those attributes that I just went over that are all attributes of God are all in us and as us. For love and kindness is extremely special. And as we unify with that love and that kindness, I speak my word now for Summit Center for Spiritual Living, that Carol Ann, as she starts our new series about spiritual mind treatment, that it is her words, but it's also God's words. It's God's words working, talking through her. And that each and every person is just filled with love and light and joy. Grateful for John doing the music. I'm grateful for Deb and Hannah and Kyle and Tim and Michael, and of course Carol Ann. These are the people that I can see or that I know of, but there are many others out there either watching or seeing us in a rebroadcast. Either way, I know for them as well that love and kindness is happening right here, right now. That peace is the way. It is the way to that loving presence, that loving mind. It's already there. It's just as we accept it, peace happens. So with this, I give thanks. I give thanks for all the good that is happening right here, right now. And I release my word, knowing it is done. And so it is. And so I let it be. Amen.
Peace is the way in what we think, do, or say. Peace is the way. Peace today. being kind, being now loving mind. Loving is the way. Loving is the way. Loving is the way. Loving today.
Thank you, John. And as you open your eyes, please also open your cameras. Take a moment to look into each other's eyes and notice the magnificence of each person, the spirit within. Just see it and feel it and experience it. Okay, thank you. All right, so I am going to turn this over now to Carol Ann, and she's going to speak about recognition. So Carol Ann, remember to unmute yourself, and turn you on over and let you talk about recognition. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. It is a wonderful morning simply because we are here, we are alive, and it is an opportunity to be together. Thank you so much for your presence here. You know, there are two different kinds of presence. There is presence in the physical world of being physically present and showing up, or there is also being present with an open heart and an open mind. So it doesn't matter, your presence, whatever it is enough to help energize and to help make this service move strongly forward. Prayer treatment is so exciting for me. And when I first learned it many years ago, I was just in awe that here was a process where I can help other people. I can help myself in whatever situation or healing they're in. And at the same time, I didn't have to carry supplements with me or essential oils or anything. I could simply speak the words. Prayer treatment offers a very simple yet profound way to assist others and myself. I use it on myself all the time. And it's simple. It's a 5-step process. It's simple. It's not long and hard. Back in the early 1990s, I was invited to attend a international church conference, and the topic for the conference was they wanted everyone to come together and to bring, the focus of it was to bring how they do prayer work. So, bring the form, bring the instructions, whatever it was, but to come together and look for the commonalities and see if we couldn't, at least in one aspect, maybe have some agreement. Well, I jumped at the chance. I was very excited, and took one sheet of paper with the 5 steps briefly outlined in them, and thought, international, this should be really a large number of people. There were 45 people there. And I just kind of giggled, and I thought, wow, this whole world, all these religions, and I mean, it went out to everybody. and there are 45 people here. This is so amazing. So and each person they said would have 2 or 3 minutes. With 45 people, that would not be very much, but they wanted to get through all of it in a day and come out with this prototype at the end that we all could use and we could all agree upon. And it was so fascinating because I sat there with my little piece of paper with the names of the 3 steps in a sentence after each one, and people had 15, they had 20 steps. I mean, it just went on, and it just went on and on. And so I just waited, and uh, I was sitting up front, and the person leading it says, "I think we've heard from everybody but Carol Ann. Would you like to briefly share? We're kind of, running out of time here." And but everyone agreed that they would stay. And so I introduced the 5 steps and, just said each one and then a little sentence after it to kind of explain it. And it was amazing that when I finished, there wasn't a sound in the room. Nobody said anything. And of course, my physical mind says, "Oh, gee, I'm in trouble." But no, they were just so in awe. And finally, when the speaker spoke, um, he said, "You summarized this whole meeting into 5 steps. So simple." And of course, I offered people my email address. We didn't have texting at the time. If anyone would want to get in touch with me to learn more about it, and but he just spoke very briefly, and he said, if we really look at that, we can really see that it is in the simplicity that we can move and have our being. But I came home very excited, thinking, at least a couple people would. Nobody ever emailed me. I was thought, oh shoot, oh well, this is a good thing. I like it. It's powerful, and the 5 steps are simple. They can be learned very easy. And I'm also today going to talk about a secret ingredient that many people are not necessarily aware of when they do treatment work. So the treatment work has 5 steps, and we probably are fairly familiar with that one. Recognition is the one I'm going to be speaking about, and it is being and it is recognizing that, quite simply, there's a power, there's a presence, there's a greater life force than ourselves. Unification is becoming one with our creator, and that makes sense. We recognize it, get quiet ourselves, and then we want to talk to our creator. But realization is realizing the truth about a person, a place, or a thing. And that leads into release, and releasing is simply releasing the prayer to the universe for immediate action. It is sometimes saying it is, and it is said for immediate action. And since there's only now in the universe, it is going to be immediate action. A simple way to remember the steps is taken from stock car racing, and which was popular after World War II, and it's still popular in many parts of the country. And I grew up with stock car racing, so I was really comfortable with it. But at the beginning of the race, over the microphone, deep, it seemed to me it was always a raspy male voice, and it just uh, uh, said, and when they saw him, kind of touching the microphone and making that sound, and he said, Are you ready to rumble? The whole crowd would just go wild, cheering and yelling. And then a gun was shot and the race began. Those same words are a great way to remember the 5 steps in prayer treatment. The R is recognition, the U, unification, the ready is realization, the 2 is thanksgiving, and the rumble is release. And just as a side note, the first time I presented that at a Cleveland church, the congregation loved it very much. And the minister was in the back of the church. She had been sick, and I was covering for her, and she was okay to sit, but not to get up and do the service. She stood up, and she said, "Hey, this lady's for real. You pay attention. She's got it." And it was such a beautiful confirmation. And I'm sorry I don't remember the minister's name, but she was one of the people that was very high up in her church. And when she said something, the synagogue and people turned around and listened. So let's get started with recognition. And it's well to remember that each step must be fully completed before going on to the next. There are no half measures. It has to be full and it has to be complete. So recognition is simply recognizing that there is a power, a presence, a life force in the universe. And, everyone can recognize and fully agree with that. There is a presence, there is a power, there's a life force in the universe. So, yes, and then it goes on and says, and we are one. The Father and I are one. There's only one life, there's only one God. And I think we all can agree that, makes complete sense. That's what I like about prayer treatment. It makes complete sense to our physical mind. There is only one life. It is my life right now, and it is God's life. You can't kind of do prayer treatment. You have to have your full energy, your full tension, your heart open. Okay, now that's the first step. Now for the secret ingredient. And this is very important because in order to go on, if you haven't done this at each step, your prayer work will not be as effective. You must feel the presence. You must feel the energy in this step, in each step before you go on. That means that you gotta keep talking until it comes through. You can't just naturally assume, well, it's there. And since you cannot go on until the energy opens, then it means that you have to be aware of the energy. You have to be aware of the presence. That is the key, and it is an important key. Oftentimes, you will hear somebody pray, and even in prayer, whether it's prayer treatment or simply prayer, you will hear somebody pray, and they might have beautiful words. They might, really raise their voice in a very commanding way. However, if the energy is not there, it is not going to be effective. So let's just close with a brief recognition breathing exercise. I love exercises. Recognition is not just for prayer treatment. And how do you become aware of presence? How do you become aware of energy? Uh, let's put our hand on our heart. This is one of the best ways, and I know I have said this before. Put your hand on your heart. This brings your attention to your heart center. You know, if you have a hangnail and it's really sore, guess what? Your attention is going to be there. Yeah, we're doing exactly the same thing. Put your hand on your heart, focus on your breathing. And when you do both of those, when you focus on your breathing, and your hands on your heart, you can't think of two things at the same time. So you're going to be focusing on your breathing, i.e., that means you're nicely stepping back behind your head, back here into the energy. And because you're focusing on your breathing, that automatically clears your mind, and the peace, awareness, and clarity can begin to come in. So open your eyes and look around and continue that beautiful breathing with your hand on your heart. Because you are looking around, you are seeing with your heart. And even though things look the same, they are very different. You are hearing from the larger consciousness rather than from your mind. And that's what is so important. So open your eyes, turn on your camera, and just look around and smile. Absolutely. Look around and smile. I know I've said it before and I'll say it again, because the thing looking out behind my eyes is the same thing that's looking out behind your eyes. It's exactly the same thing. This is part of recognition. So we can walk around every day, literally being in recognition. And then you get to a point that you might not have to put your hand up here, but you can just look around and be in that place of awareness and realize, that this is the power and the presence of the universe flowing through everybody. Recognition is not just for prayer treatment. We can use it anywhere, anytime. And it is so powerful. John Milton wrote in Paradise Lost, "He also serves who only stands and waits." And if you'll remember the Bible story about Mary and Martha, and the one sister got very upset with her other sister and said to her, I'm doing all the work. I'm doing all the work. And she's sitting and listening to you. Yeah, we can do both. So recognition, you can use any place, anytime, and use it. Get comfortable with it. It is so, so powerful. And it's already the first step in prayer treatment work. So you kind of got a double whammy. And as we move through the 5 steps, you should, if you want to have effective prayer, you have to have the energy with each step. And I find I cannot go on in prayer work unless I keep talking until my heart opens, until I feel that. And some people say, well, I don't know what that feels like and all. It can be a tingling in your fingers. It might be like all of a sudden you kind of want to move your bangs a little bit, like something's up there. It can come out in so many very gentle ways, but it is there. And once you recognize it, it's like it gets a big smile and it says, great, she recognizes me. He feels me. And it will start to grow and grow, so until it's something that is there and you can walk in that presence all the time. So thank you so much for being here. Your presence is enough. Oh.
Thank you, Carol Ann. It was very appreciative. And just walking around in recognition. That's a nice thought, you know. I really like that. Is there any other comments, questions?
I think that again, thank you, Carol Ann, and that's the kind of the secret sauce I've gotten from you is the whole idea of really of not just the words, but the feeling of just again that there is only one, and just to feel that and to know that, and then to go on with the other steps. The only other comment I have is, the whole idea of consciousness. This is about us being and coming from a state of higher consciousness, not praying to something, but praying from something, praying from that energy.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is not, again, Ernest Holmes, especially during the introduction, was talking about, again, that there's no God up there that's kind of deciding which one, well, I'm going to answer Diana's prayer, but I'm not going to answer Michael's prayer. Now, the decision, again, if we are one with that one life, that one activity, if there's only one, then again, that we know that God is expressing in and through and as its creation. So I'll talk more about unification next week. But I think that's what I get from Carol Ann is the whole idea of really feeling and knowing and practicing that presence. So thank you very, very much. And we'll talk more about this next week.
John, did you have a comment?
Like walking around in a mystical state.
Very true.
Mystic.
Very true. All right. Well, unless there's any other questions or comments, I'm going to have John do a song.
All right. Well, this is an older one of my songs. It goes back to the 70s. And it is basically a story of recognition. It's kind of a little different for this day, but we've heard it before. It's called The Writer of My Tears. It's from a dream that someone else had. And then we created a song out of it. Walking out in the desert sand, I found myself all alone. The sun was high, not a shadow on the land. The ground was dry as a bone. Wondering why I was lost and tired, weary-eyed, I could barely see. Lying by a cactus I spied, my future looking up at me. On his side, about to die, the oldest horse I'd ever seen. Then he spoke with a voice that broke, "You are the answer to my dream. I've laid right here for all these years, knowing you'd have to come. You are the writer of my tears, only you can take me home." Standing back, I watched him rise, dusty, aged, baked with pain, a bag of bones with a heart so wise, new life blowing through his veins. He spoke of the path of ruin behind, what I'd wasted, what I'd lost. But now, says he, it's just you and me. There's a desert we've got to cross. I've laid right here for all these years, knowing you'd have to come. You are the writer of my tears. Only you can take me home. The life you've led, so fast and false, brings you empty to this time of change. Now let the one inside climb on and ride off to the yonder mountain range. I've laid right here for all these years, knowing you'd have to come. You are the writer of my tears. Only you can take me home. You are the writer of my tears. Only you can take me home. Only you can take me home.
Thank you, John. That was beautiful. All right. Thank you so much. It is that time in our service where we take the opportunity to give. So we're going to symbolically take our right hand over top of left, and just know with me that all that we have, all that we receive, and all that we give is blessed in a very gracious manner. And it goes to the work of Summit's Center for Spiritual Living and is returned back to the giver 10 times or more. So it is. And how you can get there is how you can give is to go to Zelle or to PayPal. And you can give that way, and you would go to sscofakron@gmail.com, or you can send a check or money order to 1199 Lexington Avenue, Akron, Ohio, 44310 with the word Summit on it. That also does it. So thank you, and thank you, thank you. Thank you, God, so much, and amen. So, all right, how about some good, more good, John?
Good and more good is mine, and ever increasing good is mine. Unlimited, infinite good is mine. Wherever I go, I see good. Whatever I do, I feel oh so good. I'm worthy and entitled to good and more good. Good crowds itself upon us, wraps itself around us. We give ourselves permission to accept more good, express more good. Good and more good is ours, and ever increasing good is ours. Thank you, Spirit and Soul.
All right. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Announcements.
Hi. Yes, during the week, I spend most of my week with New Thought Media Network, ntmedia.org is where you can find out more information about what I do during the week. And a lot of the programs that I produce go on our Facebook page. And it's been interesting because, again, just by putting the programs on, that we get more views on our Facebook page. So that's been really good. So ntmedia.org. And just amazing stuff. We're finishing up our class on Wednesday evenings. And next week, we will have more information on something else. Carol Ann didn't know I was going to say that, but that's okay. All right. Thank you.
John?
Keep the information coming, huh? Well, yeswise.com is where I post my blog, Inspiry. And also you can find it on the Yeswise channel at YouTube. Or I'm also posting some other of my blogs on the economy, silver, things like that you might find interesting. Check it out at yeswise.com or at Yeswise channel on YouTube. It's also on Facebook, my account on Facebook. John David Miller, that is my account. That's
Right.
also where my music is at johndavidmiller.com.
Okay, thank you, John. Carol Ann, anything from you?
Conscious Living Center is alive and well and thriving and cleaning out because of the snow, the 15 inches of snow. We find it's a good time to clean out files and get rid of the things that no longer really support us or we use. The AMVETs are going to be very pleased when they come around.
All right. So unless there's anything more with that, we will do our moment of silence. And I will just count us down and count us back up. But as we take this moment of silence, please bring in mind, into your hearts, anybody that may need some healing, whether it's yourself, a family member, co-worker, a neighbor, or if it's just for peace and love and kindness for the world. Something very simple. Peace, love, and kindness for everyone, including our leaders, that political leaders, that there is peace and love and kindness there. Okay, so with that, let's just count in, and we'll go from 1, 2, 3, ding. Three, 2, 1, ding. All right. So the light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
Life is real. Life is true. We are life, living as me and you. Joy is true. We are joy, living as me and you. Peace is real. Peace is true. We are peace,
Thank you, John. And I forgot to do a reminder of next week. It'll be Michael talking about unification. Following week will be Tim talking about realization. And then the last week in February, I'll be talking about Thanksgiving and release. And we'll definitely be getting that. We are actually early today. So, but anyways, that is okay. Hannah, you can let us know when we are we are off of Facebook here. You can end our Facebook feed.